Okay, I think mic is fine. I was a bit worried because it always is kind of broken at the start of every stream recently. I have to literally hit it over my desk, abuse it a bit so it will work fine. I know, aggression bad. But what can I say when aggression works the best on, you know, on electronics? I don't know why. Like, you just need to hit it and it works suddenly. Is electronics like masochistic or something? Like, why is always a printer working when you threaten it with a fly? Why is it working like this? What's the rule here? I am here because I was being... simulated universe last time when I was playing. I was playing literally last week. I think the game was that. Please, work. Don't do this to me. We had a deal. We had a deal, game. We had a deal. How dare you do that to me? This time I have a map in browser on the screen, so we'll be doing exploration a bit more smoothly this time around. Because before I was checking everything on my phone. It's not really comfortable. Oh. No! Go back here! Come back here! Come back here! Internet is okay. Why are you always like this? Honkai Star Rail seriously has serious issues with connections on good internet for no apparent reason. Well, I guess I will leave picking up dailies for later. Okay, why this game always tries to force me to do some quests I don't want to do? We'll do them different time. Forest. Okay, last time we finished doing the Dawn Bloodbath Battlefront Castrum Kremnos. I think we picked up everything. Except this puzzle. Wait, maybe I should go back. This puzzle alone. I forgot about it, I was supposed to go after it.
Light up the dawn. Light up the dawn. Light up the dawn.
Okay, it looks like I just didn't pick it up. Oh, there's someone in this crate. Anyway, now we should switch to the other version of Castrum Kremnos. Okay, strike ruins, and we are going with the basement first. And the first thing we are doing is readable that I need to check if I picked up. The readable should be there. It looks like I picked it up, so I should have it with me. There are 2 NPCs and achievements here, but I think we already talked to those NPCs during the quest. Data. No, not data farm. Library. Bookshelf. Anthores. Poems by Lipos Third. Third, not the Lipos is third, but the third. There are three poems by him. You pick up the third here. The Citadel in the Sky. I wonder why you find poems in Castrum Kremnos. A mobile citadel, a city that draws amidst chaos. Fearless and fierce, it never attempts to conceal its prowess. Drifting high in the sky, it appears to be close to Aquila, yet its loyalty belongs solely to Nicador's spear. Every Kremnoan troop is elite. Every Kremnoan weapon is refined. Every Kremnoan is a glorious warrior who will never betray the name of soldiers. They drink pomegranate juice as if it were blood. They keep their blades close at hand. Their final paths always lead them to battlefields vast. Listen, the children of Gorgo are singing that tune once more. Valorous death before glorious return. Be crowned in blood, and death is our supreme honor. This last one is actually one thing that Mighty doesn't like about his culture. He doesn't believe in the idea of a valorous death before glorious return. He thinks that it actually hurts his people the most, that they throw their lives away for this glory. You know? He wants to change their ways. He wants them to stop sacrificing themselves needlessly. Okay. Yeah, he wants his people to stop sacrificing themselves. That's why he rejected the crown, because he thought that if he accepts the crown, they will keep sacrificing themselves, and even more so when he became the demigod of strife, because to Kremnon people, Nikador is their beloved god, and when Maidi, their king, the chosen king, the crown prince, becomes the demigod of Nikador, Maidi was afraid that him becoming the demigod would further trap his people into this endless cycle of strife and sacrificing their lives for some glory. That's why he didn't want to take the core flame, but also he was afraid that he will end just like Nikador, that he will go mad and start being a danger to his own people. That's why he asked Finon to kill him, because Finon is his equal, the only person who can defeat him. And he told him his weakness, where his immortality can't heal him anymore. For this very reason, that he was afraid that one day, if he becomes demigod of strife, he will go mad, just like Nikador, and will start killing his own people. But the second reason was exactly this valorous death before glorious return. He was afraid that him becoming strife will further reinforce this type of thinking, and he didn't want that. That's why when he was leaving Okama, he rejected the crown. He told Craterus that he will never be their king, that he rejects the crown, and that he is going out to protect Amphoris from the Black Tide, and they are supposed to stay in Okema and are not to follow him because he wants them to survive. They want them to learn how to live differently than they did before. He wanted Kremnons to assimilate to Okema not because he wanted them to lose their culture, but because he wanted them to learn from Okemans how it is to live without sacrificing yourself. Which is kinda ironic, because what Mighty is doing is exactly that. He is sacrificing himself for his people. So he technically, even in his actions, kind of reinforces that point despite being opposite of it. But there is no other way. He, as a demigod of strife, has to go and protect Amphoris from the Black Tide, so he really doesn't have any choice. But he wants his people to have a choice. He wants his people to learn how to stop living only to die. You know? There is no other readable in the part, so we shouldn't be reading more poems. But I am sure we will find the places where the original two other poems were found. I want to read them, you know, chronologically, how you discover them, even if I already picked them up before. Buzz Buzz. A nymph is an unfamiliar sight to the streets of Castrum Kremnos. As you know, ruins stained with the stench of blood are not a place that the Titan King of Romance would happily visit. Are nymphs considered only Titan King of Romance? I'm taking screenshots when I can. Buzz, I am an envoy of romance. I respond to those that long for romance as its disciple. Oh, what does it mean? Do you mean that Kremnons long for romance? stranger, do you know who it was that summoned Nestia to this place? They're already here too late. Oh, I think I know what it is about. I understand. What a terrible shame. I hope that Thanatos will allow her to join our cocoon soon. Cocoon? This is about that Titankin that fell in love with a human. That quest that I was so angry at that NPC guy who first told that Titankin lady that he loves her only so he could abandon her and talk badly about her later. I really wanted to kill the guy, but he was unfortunately already dead. Thank you, stranger. I shall return to the cocoon. Can I ask a question? What's wrong? Where is Arcadia? Arcadia? What's that? Wait. Melancholic subdual. Even the nymph doesn't know what Arcadia is? I wonder what does it mean to return to cocoon. Oh, there's a fragment of recollection. I believe we listened to it before, but I don't remember. Ignis, Crateros, are you really going to leave Castrum Kremnos? Kremnos is prospering and King Euripon places great importance on you. Just the title of King's Aegis is enough to win the admiration of thousands. Okay, that suggests that he leaves Euripon suddenly. Ignis, you only know me by my titles of Champion, Warrior, and King's Aegis. What do you not know is that I bear another equally glorious title. That is the title of King's Mentor, granted to me by Queen Gorgo. I don't understand what you're saying. When I was a sprout like you, I hunted alongside Gorgo. With my own eyes, I saw her kill a lion with her bare hand. Back then, Gorgo was not yet queen. She was merely a ferocious but kind warrior. She treated every child in the tribe as her own. I was also fortunate enough to receive her tutelage and learn skills that I would not have claimed victory in the Kremnos festival without. The day I became a watcher, Gorgo looked me in the eyes exactly as she did back then. In her eyes, I was still her dear old friend. Queen Gorgo entrusted her child, Maidimos, to me. I vowed under the light of Nikador that I would protect the Prince of Kremnos with my life. However, King Euripon has been bewitched by traitors and wished his own flesh and blood dead. When Queen Gorgo doubted over and cried out in agony, When Queen Gorgo doubled over and cried out in agony, I did not dare make a move. I hung my head and stilled my tongue. Queen Gorgo challenged King Euripon to gladiatorial combat to protect Maidimos. Unfortunately, she was defeated and had her throat slit by his side. But when I examined her body, I found symptoms of poisoning. She fell to an evil plot. I failed Queen Gorgo. Now I hear that Castrum Kremnos has a detachment army roaming outside the city. Rumor has it that their leader is one that defied death. Crateros, I am going to find that lone army. I believe Maidimos has returned. Wait, I need to make a screenshot of this entire conversation. Yeah, last time when we were exploring I was angry at Kratos because he did nothing. He first promised that he will protect Midimos and then he did nothing. That was so fucking annoying. Anyway, so this Ignis at least would know that Midimos possibly lived, but I guess the Ignis didn't tell the king. Because I was recently checking the dialogues where the Midimos' murals were shown with his friends. And there was that one sentence where King Euripon thinks that Mighty is an Okeman soldier, which implies that the Kremnoan detachment already went to Okema and had the pact with Okema already, and then they went to kill Euripon, because otherwise Euripon wouldn't be able to assume that Mighty is Okeman. But at the same time, there are other conversations that indicate that they only joined Okema after, which kinda creates this weird timeline around Castrum Kremnos that not only Castrum Kremnos itself, but Midimos himself too. Like, it's really hard to pinpoint what happens when, because there are so many contradicting conversations. One conversation says something happened now, then another conversation says that it happened later than now or before now, and in different circumstances. Like, it's kind of suspicious. In any case, this conversation says that Krateros was friend of Queen Gorgo before she was the queen, and I suspect before she also took the name Gorgo, because Queen Gorgo wasn't named Gorgo as we learned last time. I did know that, but you learned. She killed a lion with her bare hands and took the name Gorgo as a kind of commemoration of that. And I always kinda wonder what was her real name. And she also kinda parallels Finan, because Finan also is like a warrior who took another name and never divulged his original name to anyone until we learned about the Eternal Recurrence, and during the Eternal Recurrence he reclaimed his name, Kaslana, you know? But through the entire story he is called Finan because this is his new name. So it's actually a really interesting thing that Finan shares that little thingy with Queen Gorgo. O warm bonfire, spread your raging flames and dispel all the darkness. Yo-ho-ho, adventurer, you have come a long way already. Let's rest beside the campfire and take off again later. We kinda didn't go through this chronologically, because chronologically we would have to go through this map first and then the daylight one, because this map was the first introduced in the game. But because we did the other way around, we got all the stuff about Gorgo taking her name as Gorgo, marrying Euripon, Euripon poisoning her and killing her so he could kill Midimos, because he heard some weird prophecy that said that Midimos will bring destruction to Castrum Kremnos.
Light up the dawn.
Which ironically was what the prophecy needed, because when Euripon tried to kill Mighty, well, came back from the dead, because he is immortal. And he actually did destroy Kremnoan dynasty and did kill Nikedor and became the demigod of strife. I am still of the mind, kinda, that weird prophecy issued by some Janusopolis unknown priest is super fucking suspicious. Like, it kinda sounds as if someone had like an agenda to destroy the Kremnon dynasty from within. You know? Maybe, I don't know, maybe people didn't like that Eurypon and Gorgo were trying to change Kremnos and someone made this plot so they wouldn't have the sun to take the Kremnos and then they would take over, I don't know. Anyway, it backfired. It backfired because Mightymost survived and Eurypon, despite everything lost, like he also, there was like mentions of him going mad, something, but it's not, I don't remember exactly what's going on with Eurypon. Like there is like mentions of him going mad because of the Black Tide, but how does that work? Okay, we reached where are we? We are here. Okay.
Light up the dawn.
Wait, I need to check on my map if I have the chest highlighted. Waypoints, basic treasures. Oh yeah, I picked up that treasure. It looks like. Because there was supposed to be treasure here, but I don't see it, so I guess I picked it up already before. There should be a nymph here, but I picked it up, and there should have been a puzzle here. But I already did it, I guess. Let's go further. There should be a nymph here too, but it looks like I picked it up too. Because I don't see any nymphs here. And the chest was also taken. What is this thing here? And why is it here? Okay, we're going down.
Light up the dawn.
This is the chest I didn't pick up before. Okay, and here should have been a nymph, but I don't see any. Oh no, wait! I keep playing back in my head my master's warning. The door to the other shore will only open once the ground beneath you turns from red to blue. My mission should now be complete, right? Oh, everything looks sad. What is this weird vortex about? This sword is apparently the sword that Nikador is using during his battle animations, and I'm like... He looks like an ant wielding a huge ass sword. Ubetka, Friday, hi. Are you having a free day today? Sorry, I am using the second screen also for my map. So I am not always seeing the chat. Okay, achievement 4 here should have been done. Nikador's Greatsword. A fearless and reckless blade that won every battle for its wielder and bestowed its name upon many heroes. But now your insanity tortures mortal souls. Oh, this blade that hangs above the head of humanity. Fall, let the somber and wronged spirits return to the land once again. Wait, did they really say fall? You know what it would become if it falls? It would become the sword of Damocles. Unfortunately no, but it's fine, it's Friday. Well, you will be quicker finished with your stuff, I guess. Oh, there are 2 directions here. Wait, I need to check my map again. We can go to 2 different directions, but they're connected to each other, I think. Floor 1. No, they are not. Actually, they are not connected. There's like... There's a chest supposedly in the station. Oh, there should be a readable. 2 readables in one room. Later. Wait. Friday, 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 Friday. Wait, no. I wanted to enter. Change direction. Oh, it looks like I never went there. Nikador, the Lance of Fury. You are very not...
Anything's possible if you take it step by step. Light up the dawn.
Bye. He was very suspicious. He was not doing a good job at acting not suspicious. Oh, this is... I can see carefully from here again. If that ball is that tall, why does the light of it doesn't reach this place? Is it some kind of a rule with the black tide? The black tide obscures the light with those clouds here or something? Or there's like some rule? Also, there's like a line in the sky, I can see it. But you must say that Castrum Kremnos is a really beautiful place. And it's really a fucking flying fortress. Like, imagine you are part of a space ancient Greece polis city-state that can fly. And has laser like little thingies that create their army that could technically be repurposed for military purposes, and the only reason they're not is because Kremnons are too proud about their military prowess to use those laser thingies they use to carve their stone army, to use them on enemies. They're too honorable for that. I guess we should be happy they never came up with that idea. Which reminds me about that one eternal recurrence in which Anaxagoras became the king's aegis and introduced guns to Castrum Kremnos. And I was like, how did Kremnon pride take this one? Where's the honor? He's shooting someone with a gun. It doesn't sound Kremnon to me. Yay, why not give them guns? Anaxa, are you sure about that? Oh. Catch. This wall carving here doesn't even have a nose. Don't tell me the poor guy has to hold his breath the whole time. I guess my hand is forced, and I will take over things from here. Absolutely no time for slacking off. I hate them. I hate it! Designated post for sentries. No one uses it now. Former watchtower. Those little nymphs were the first sign that something with Amphorius was not okay. Because what normal ancient Greece would have nymphs that turn into text in the sky? That makes cow emojis. Why my map is showing there's a further here? There's none. You can go. Oh, another name. Hello, little asshole. A real tough guy doesn't listen to lies and gossip, and has even less time for beating around the bush. Just carve out your own way, I say. However, the Spear Lord's craftsman really gets to use the good stuff. My head is buzzing loud. things. Those look like those thingies that were used to craft the soldiers. Why are they here? Did they lose power or something? Oh no, the horsey is here. Again. Janus steed. There is no doubt about it, the giant wooden prop before you is one you recognize from an old story, its head raised high in the sky and room in its stomach for several people. It has all the familiar characteristics you expect. But just as you try to climb inside the wooden horse's stomach, you find the wooden board is stuck fast and it can't be opened from this side. Kick it hard. Bang bang! You take a deep breath, spin on your heel and throw a number of ferocious kicks at the body of the horse. Unfortunately, to no avail. Suddenly you hear a faint moan. No, don't! Stop! I am just taking a quick break. I'll be gone in a moment. This will not affect anything. Please don't worry. I am a divine foal that has received the blessing of Janus. I can travel freely between any lands. I am stranded here because I was infected by the Black Tide's essence and lost my sense of direction. I will recover soon. My mind is still unclear and I have lost my sense of direction. May I ask, where is the festival of the Mad King being held? Have I come to the wrong place? You're too late. The festival of Kremnos ended a long time ago. Yeah, what are you doing here? You're traveling through space or time? I see, no wonder you're the only living thing I have come across this whole time. I see. I lost so much time when I was lost in teleportation, and even history itself has changed. Just what exactly? Though the wooden horse's mouth does not move, you feel as if you hear a mournful sigh, a sigh that echoes from the distant past. I can never complete my mission, and my path has come to an end, stranger. I wish that the door of tomorrow remains ever open to you. That you will not end up like me, isolated from fate on the other side of its door. This is incredibly suspicious considering what's going on with time travel and time shenanigans in Amphorius. This is sus! What is this horse? I still have enough power to teleport one final time, so allow me to see the complete state of this war-torn city. This was the land that the priests cherished, and the final hope for my tribe's survival. Farewell. Wait. You mean that the Janusopolis priest cherished Castrum Kremnos? Why? Why the Janusopolis priests would have such a strong connection to Castrum Kremnos? An unchosen path. Check the Janus steed located in Strife Ruins, Castrum Kremnos. First, he loved the water, and second, he loved what he himself lacked. Discover the truth about their cave. Ah, I remember now. The talk with that nymph happened after that quest with the Titankin and the guy that she loved. And the nymph appears after she dies, or gets destroyed. Or killed by us, yes. I think we had to kill her because she went mad. Anyway, the nymph appeared then, and we talked to it. And it told us that Arcadia they don't know what Arcadia is, even if it exists. And that was the end of the quest. Because, for example, Aglaya, as a demigod of romance, also doesn't know where Arcadia is supposed to be. Or if it even exists. Which bears the question, does the Arcadia exist in this world, or it's just a fairy tale? And does it have something to do with this world being so fucked up? Here is the entrance to the daylight version of the Castrum Kremnos. You can even see it here. Oh. What was that? Was that a lightning? Anyway, I never noticed those. I don't even remember when they started appearing. I never noticed them because I didn't do exploration. Okay, now to go further to the inner city, we need to run on this chain. What a wonderful and very dangerous, you know.
I will walk to the end with
A bridge.
No matter the cost.
This guy just can't stop being gay on me. What I meant is that I accidentally clicked on the garment maker and made all the nymphs I collected go back. So I guess that the yellow nymph that we found there at the start of this exploration was one of the ones that I returned by accident. Oh, Abyss. This one I also remember collecting. Gazing into the abyss is like staring into that hazy shadow, the one that must not be named. When will they finally return to us the joy of the mundane world? Oh Master, how I wish you could whisper those revelations into my ear as you always used to. I don't think there was supposed to be anything else on this bridge. No. Now we are entering the room with 2 readables that I most likely collected before. A farewell letter and an introduction to military strategy. Okay, the military strategy one isn't here.
Is this also a blessing of the Trailblades?
And the other readable isn't here either. Okay, so now we have to check the bookshop. An introduction to military strategy. Forward. Is this that? Yeah, this is that. Okay, let's read that one. Editor's note. War is an extension of the Titan's will, and the very existence of Titans is the root cause of all fights. This is the teaching of Nikador and the foundational reason why strategic advisory is so critical. The ability of an individual is limited, therefore relying on the charisma of a single leader is far from enough to accurately extend the Titan's will to everyone in an army, let alone a city. A king cannot possibly monitor every development on every front at all times. Yet coordination, or more specifically, the ability to launch attacks at the right time and in the right place, is the single most crucial factor in securing battlefield advantages for any army. This is where the importance of strategic advisory becomes evident. Advisors are the commanding officer's most indispensable aides. Through close collaboration, they provide intelligence, craft plans, organize units to implement battle arrangements, and offer valuable counsel to the commanding officer. They must ensure that the commanding officer maintains a focus on strategic and operational levels rather than on specific tactics such as redeploying a squadron 50 paces east, thereby enabling wise decision-making. War is a systemic endeavor, one that maximizes the use of violence against each other. Some foolish city-states dream of finding an ingenious method to achieve decisive victories and win the enemy's heartfelt submission without significant casualties. Such fantasies not only disgrace the Titan they revere, but often result in even greater losses for their compatriots at the hands of the enemy. I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't agree, you wouldn't agree, negotiations are good. Oh, wait. Gaze into the abyss. Yeah, gaze in the abyss. The music is nice. I know, right? The music of Castrum Kremnos is, really like you are having an adventure, despite the city being dead, you know? It's kind of soothing. In my opinion, the root of this folly lies in these city-state leaders' disregard for advisory work, along with their irreverence toward Nikador. Anyone with practical knowledge of strategic advisory and the complexity of military conflict understands that there is no path to success without the application of violence. Even diplomatic activities, often mild and friendly as they may seem, involve military calculations beyond the comprehension of the ignorant. In recent years, Castrum Kremnos has witnessed the rise of a dangerous misconception that war is a divine authority of Nikador, and that it will help us obtain whatever we desire as long as we, the ordinary people, demonstrate sufficient, though often self-destructive, devotion to it. This is not what Nikador wants. On the contrary, Nikador desires that we actively engage in all the struggles of survival, using our own wits to secure our place in the world rather than having them do it for us. Valorous death before a glorious return. This motto does not call for us to die senseless deaths on the battlefield. What it truly indicates is that one should only fall while striving for a cause the person deems worthy, specifically in the pursuit of glory for Castrum Kremnos. It signifies giving one's all and fighting for the meaning of one's existence in the world. Okay, so this person that is writing this military strategy is redefining the valorous death before glorious return. Because most Kremnoans actually see it as throwing their lives away for glory and Nikador. But he says that the motto is not about that it's about when you are going to war and are going to die, then it's best to die for glory of Castrum Kremnos than anything else. Which is a little bit different message. But at the same time, it's something that I feel like Mighty wouldn't agree with. Like, I feel like he halfly would agree with the sentiment, because this is exactly what he is doing, but he wouldn't want that sentiment to limit his people's choices. Like, if they are like this part, I think he would agree with this part, that if they are only if one should only fall while striving for a cause the person deems worthy. So this part I feel like Mighty would accept. This is actually something that resonates with him. That someone, if they are supposed to fall in battle, then they should fall in battle for the worthy cause that they deem is worthy. Not someone else. Not some culture or something. But then the author of this says that it means that the worthy cause is glory of Castrum Kremnos, which I feel like is something Mighty wouldn't agree with. Because he would more like think of it like the any cause deemed as worthy for you is worth dying for. Not only glory of Castrum Kremnos, you know. So it's a different message than in how the most Kremnos understand Valor's death before glorious return, but it still doesn't fit the interpretation that Mighty is trying to teach his people. In light of this, I believe the greatest value of this course lies in learning to face future conflicts with composure, understanding, the principles of solidarity through the study of strategic advisory and securing the highest chances of defeating your enemies. In this course, we'll explore the roles and responsibilities of advisors, the necessary qualities and capabilities they must possess, the procedures and methods of strategic advisory, the relationship between advisors and commanding officers, and the various roles of advisors during peacetime, training, and wartime engagement. This is the 8th edition of this course's textbook since its establishment. It now includes substantial updates on practical guidance for combating the Black Tide. Special thanks go to Krateros of the King's Aegis, who generously provided numerous valuable materials and insights for this revision, including this very foreword. Yeah, that explains a lot, because Mighty didn't actually agree with Krateros on the interpretation of Valor's death before glorious return. Actually, Mighty doesn't even like that entire motto. Like, he lives to the part of dying for the cause worth dying for. This part is what Mighty is doing, because he became the protector of Amphoris and he was not fighting for Castrum Kremnos' glory. He was fighting for everyone to have the future. So it's completely different reason. Okay, and the second one was the a farewell letter, and I think I know what that letter is. This is found in a corner of Castrum Kremnos. This is a letter penned before someone's demise and could no longer be sent. Dearest Chironom, I suppose you will never have the chance to read this letter. Even so, after much thought, I've decided to put these words on paper. As of today, I've been trapped in this room for 10 days. My food supply ran out 3 days ago, and yesterday I drained the last of my clean water. Only 2 endings await. I can either linger here in the safe cage, waiting for death to claim me in dishonor and humiliation, or step out through that door and get torn to shreds by the frenzied Titan King. I imagine you would laugh at me, just as many times I mocked Ulysses the coward, scorned by Nicodor. Yet, in a bitter twist of irony, I find myself now understanding the deserter's plight. Wait, isn't that the guy that was fighting by scorning honor in the daylight version of this map? Yeah, I think it was him. So he deserted. Ooh. And he was the instructor of military strategy in Kremnos. Aye, what a fall from grace. I do not fear wounds or bloodshed, those are marks of courage. I have long sought the glory of a valiant death in battle as a symbol of honor, but as one of the warriors of Kremnoan, sworn to the ideal of valorous death before glorious return, I must confess that at this moment I feel fear creeping in. The Titan kings out there were once paragons of glory and might, yet they have become tainted beasts and defiled monstrosities. As a warrior, I do not fear a heroic end, but I cannot bear to witness Castrum Kremnos, our sacred home, and the god we revered, reduced to such undignified ruins. Lastly, it's a relief to me that you chose to accompany his lordship to Okama. It may not be as warm as home, but at least there's no black tide or abominations. My last wish is for you to live the rest of your days in peace and happiness. With love, your brother Hyras. Okay, do we know who Hironome is? And who is his lordship? Is this about Maidimos? Or is it about... No, I think it could be about Maidimos, to be honest. Like, after he defeated Eurypan, I suppose that he would offer the Kremnoans who were still living in the city to leave with him to Okama. Because he came, defeated their king, and was like, okay, I am not staying, we are going back. Are you going with us? And those who went, went. Those who stayed, stayed. I need a quick... I will be right back. Voice karaoke. Maybe I will leave you with the music that you like, and I will just disappear from my chair. Okay, I'm back. Mm-hmm. Okay, we picked up the basic treasure chest. And now we'll be entering floor 2. You have found 12 minutes. 4? Oh, Titan can.
Light up the dawn.
Bye. I think I already got this achievement before, because it was needed for opening the door. Travelers from afar always find themselves more at ease when they think of the safe harbor awaiting them, right? But the place I'm slumming at doesn't even have a front door, and it sure isn't warm at all.
Light up the dawn.
Cookies! What do you mean cookies? I'm not cookies here. And we are in the big destroyed room. Calyx. Golden bud. Hey, I didn't discover this one before? Interesting. What is Calyx for? Oh, for those. No. You want the floor. You don't want to go to the arena. Maybe we should go to the arena when we come back. I can't go this way. The horn of martialism has not been sounded since the Mad King's spirit scattered. The throne has not seen a change of hands for a long time, and the land of bloodlust awaits its new ruler. Yeah, we can't go down this way. It's not. I have to go. Okay. So the game chose for us what we should do.
Light up the dawn.
Okay, I guess I picked up just here. Apparently, this game is favorite of Castrum Kremnos locals, who maintain strict military rigor. When formation changes and 5 identical colors of shield line up, miraculous things can happen. Is that really possible though? I seriously doubt it. Well, I destroyed your game, so I guess we will never know. There should have been a nymph here, but I guess I picked it up before.
Light up the dawn. Okay, I think we picked from here to Royal Path of Conquest. The marvelous avenue that once held an army can barely bear the weight of a single fallen leaf these days. Isn't that the path that you normally take to enter this place? They're in the new area. My childhood musings, huh? So...
This is the way up.
The first floor. Okay. For a moment, I have to tell you something about you. In all of my years of thievery, I have never met someone like you. This is not some kind of precious jewel or rare artifact. It's just some chest filled with junk, and yet you would still fight this hard to keep your greedy mitts on it. Are you so hard-pressed that you just go around shoving everything you find in your greedy little pocket? I have my own use for it. That resolute determination, I see that we are of the same mind. If you saw my collection, you would throw yourself to the ground in reverence and get out of my way. I thought they were the only person who would be able to catch me in a place so full of twists and turns. Your methods are remarkable indeed. I wonder if you could capture her too.
I've appraised it all. No fakes.
Okay, from here we briefly will go back to the second floor. No, to the first floor. Castrum Kremnos is all over the place. Temporary Virtues City. Wait.
Light up the dawn.
Oh, this is a picture how the soldier is made. In Castrum Kremnos. There's a tip of a sword of Nikador. The Soul Forging Zone. Here craftsmen would inject the power strike to statues and have them brandish their sword against the enemies of Kremnos.
So this was my childhood dream, huh?
Okay. Soul Forging Zone. Well, why is everything in Castrum Kremnos blue and white? Blue and white. Blue and white. Sounds like some kind of conspiracy. we need a hand of Zegger, please. There is no pop-up here because I already did it. Ah, there is this. Chest. There's some kind of energy here. Can we fix the chest?
Light up the dawn. Light up the
Die.
dawn. That looks like a tough one. Let me test the waters
A
first.
direct offensive? Or crush them from the flanks? Step onto the board. We're in trouble now.
Oopsie daisy, I did something wrong.
We can do it! You'll pay for that. Step onto the board. To the defeated, your downfall is absolute.
I'm fine.
Me!
No other choice but
Trust
forward.
me. We can do anything!
Meh!
For tomorrow!
Welcome, customers.
I can't let them down.
Victory now rests in my hand. Fight for me.
Fury of innumerable core flames consume me.
Yay! Die!
Hail the new dawn!
I wanna do no! Oi oi! He didn't even survive for the second! For the second one!
Pretty good luck.
High level domination. Wait, what? I'm sorry, what? Complete the formidable foe challenge 15 times. Okay. Sounded as if Final accidentally became a dominatrix. This was the one. Okay. So I picked up this one. Cool. Did I miss the... Yes, I missed this. Legend has it that only a true hero can pull out this longsword endorsed by the Spear Lord themselves. Try as I might, though, it won't budge an inch. Could it be that I am somehow not the hero of prophecy? I can't take it. Was that foreshadowing? That Final is not the actual hero? There we go. All the way here.
Light up the dawn.
Bye. And this is mine. Okay, looks like I picked up the next here. And the chest, no, just there is not.
Light up the dawn.
Oh, down. Cube. 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 More cubes. Ah, this depicts how they are making. Here are the cubes. The cubes then turn into this with the lasers. Yeah, that makes sense. We saw it in the daylight version. Here we only have murals of it, but we saw it in the daylight version of the map. Okay. This is the calic that I uncovered before. I think, yeah. Okay. And now we are... Okay, milk here was taken. The air is filled with dust from the shattered indigo stones and mixed with the smoke from the lava. The automatic excavators work with extreme discipline and know nothing of time. At the end of their shift, workers ascend the spiral staircase to exit the shaft and extinguish their torches as they sigh. When they look up, dawn has already arrived. Wait! That's the same thingy that was told to us before, in the daylight version, but in different place. I wonder what those cubes are doing. They look like sockets. And you can see them here. I wonder what was their purpose. Let's go. We picked everything here.
My childhood musings, huh? So naive. I will walk to the end. I will walk to the end with all your wills, no matter the cost.
She's so dumb. Child of Gorgo, tell me, what dreams lie at the bottom of your heart? One wish and I shall perform a miracle for you. I want to wander through the years, or become a beam of light in the sky. Let us try one more time, Child of Gorgo, a vanguard, an aegis, or a marksman. Huh. So Mighty, I assume it's Mighty, wanted to either go through years, like through time, or wanted to be a shooting star.
Light up the dawn.
This looks like a door that could one day get unlocked. Looks like already working. Wow. But there's a puzzle I didn't do.
Light up the dawn. Light up the dawn.
Golden scapegoat! Hello! Done!
I've appraised it all. No fakes.
This way. Okay. this way is who wins the last war, coin pay. And the concept.
Light up the dawn.
There's a nymph here. But how am I supposed to get it? No idea. Then, hello, you're too far away. Ah, yeah, here I would have found the readable Who Wins. Oh. Looks like a page from a military tome in ancient Castrum Kremnos. If we can't live in future right now, then in the future we'll live in the past, is written in small print on the front cover. No matter what we do, experience is essential. However, that might not hold true when it comes to the Black Tide. Imagine a master potter effortlessly surpassing his apprentices. Experience usually counts. But surviving the Black Tide once doesn't guarantee safety the next time. Confronting this seemingly sentient natural disaster, though this idea is not confirmed, the Black Tide always strikes at our weakest points. And that's why I'm inclined to believe in this proposition. It requires more than just relying on past experience and habitual thinking. Doing so will only lead to greater losses. As we have already discussed, the hazards posed by the Black Tide encompass two major components. 1. The inexplicable Black Tide itself. 2. The terrifying creatures that emerge from the Black Tide. When the Black Tide is relatively small in scale, we can temporarily diminish it by eliminating the monsters it spawns. However, if the monsters emerge faster than we can deploy forces to counter them, the Black Tide quickly expands beyond our ability to manage. This makes assessing the Black Tide scale a critical challenge. If we underestimate it, a considerable number of our excellent warriors may die in vain due to overconfidence. Conversely, if we overestimate it, we'll waste resources on relocating people and assets, which will inevitably disrupt normal life and cause unnecessary panic, thereby hampering the smooth functioning of the city-state. So they were fighting Black Tide in the city too. Among all the city-states of Amphoris, two modes stand out for their relatively effective methods of countering the Black Tide. Castrum Kremnos. We are all familiar with the situation. We utilize the great mobility of Castrum Kremnos to deploy forces proactively, aiming to subdue the Black Tide as soon as it appears. While this approach has proven effective due to our efficient military mobilization, the steadily increasing casualties in each battle serve as a grim reminder that even with Nikador's blessings, whether the Castrum Kremnos can consistently win such wars remains an open question. Okema. To the Kremnoans, the Okemans seem to have done nothing at all. They simply hide behind Catholi, as if they were still living in the era Chrysia, with no sense of crisis or honor. However, I must point out that the Okemans' wit lies exactly in leveraging their strengths without shame. They achieved a result similar to ours in battling against the Black Tide, but at a much smaller cost. Seen from their perspective, their reliance on the protection of Kefali is hardly a flaw, a point I believe most would agree with. To sum up, both Castrum Kremnos and its rival city, Okema, have their own strengths and shortcomings in confronting the Black Tide. Obviously, it doesn't take a man of extraordinary wit to realize that the deep-rooted systemic flaws cannot be fixed with temporary measures in no time. Yet the Black Tide's threat persists and is growing so fast that we suspect soon even Nikador won't be able to handle it alone. Given the above-mentioned analysis, we may reach the following conclusion. Before the Black Tide grows too powerful to handle, we must unite the power of Castrum Kremnos and Okema. The smaller cities won't make much of a difference. We have three possible ways to achieve this. Castrum Kremnos annexes Okema, taking full control of its resources and strengths. Okema annexes Castrum Kremnos, taking full control of its resources and strength. Castrum Kremnos and Okema merged into a united entity with the spirit of Kremnos. Interesting. But they weren't considering an alliance. It looks like some people who write fanfiction about my favorite gays are actually reading the lore, and some stuff I thought were their imagination were actually deeply rooted in actual readables in the game, which I wasn't aware about, because I didn't read them. Oh, keep it up. I can feel it. The warriors of Castrum Kremnos are locked in combat with the terrifying force behind the gate. One after the other, they fall down and they get back up again. I need to plug up my courage so I don't bring shame onto my master. This place has been sealed off by the crumbled walls. The battlefield where you once faced Nikador has now become nothing more than a memory alongside the terrifying halls of battle. Oh, so I can't enter? Oh no. That's bad. I thought we'll be able to enter from this side. I guess we'll have to teleport later. Straight there. Okay, let's try picking up that nymph with the handle dagger. Finally, after traversing scores of mountains and rivers, at last I arrive at the Foundry Altar. Please grant me an indestructible form, grant me the courage to conquer all before me. There's no need to ask for an indomitable will, because that's something I've always had. Sure, why not? Okay, and we can teleport here. It looks like we did the exploration of this area already.
So this was my childhood dream, huh?
Basement, airline, Okay, I think we have to teleport here now. Looks like this area got closed after the Battle of Nikador. Fuck you, Bartolos. Oh, I was wondering who would have broken into such an uninhabited place. I guess seeing you here, it all makes sense. The universal street rat at your service. If you had come sooner, this place would not be so desolate and bleak. I used to come here all the time when this place was all the rage. Warriors from all over would gather for great ceremonies and engage in hand-to-hand combat, boxing, beast fighting, spear throwing. They would battle for glory with their lives, being for the winner's crown and the benediction of Nikador. Cast your spear into the earth and feed the soil its libations. Bards and poets compiled songs of the warriors' battles to the death. Unfortunately, this prosperity has long since passed, and these songs are rarely heard anymore. Once the beast cage broke and the beasts flooded into the arena, the unarmed warriors were completely helpless. Wait, what? However, I had no fear and single-handedly caught them all one by one. That's where I got the title, the Horned Warrior. With that sprout body of yours, now that's a little far-fetched. What, you don't believe me? Looks like I'm going to have to prove my strength to you.
1,000 wonders to rig. Fight as one. We can do it.
Ma'am.
Step onto the board. To the defeated, oblivion. Your downfall is absolute. Me.
The future will come!
Welcome, customers. Victory now.
Existence is of no Amphorius will welcome a true dawn.
Okay. You fight just like the Kremnos warriors of the past. Fine, I did take some creative liberty in the story I told you. It was actually me who opened the beast cage and herded the beasts into the arena. Then I stole the gladiators' weapons while I was at it. Although it was a truly brilliant battle, the audience was packed with people all roaring and shouting. I bet that great buffoon Nicodor enjoyed the show a lot too. You killed people and it was fun.
Is this also a blessing of the Trailblazers?
Did you hear that guy? Did you hear that guy? Oh, there is a fragment of recollection here.
I will walk to the end with all your wills.
Calm down your gaze. Look, he knew it was Mighty. Midymos, you did it! We did it! We have taken revenge for your mother. We have avenged Queen Gorgo. Now there is but one thing remaining. Put on the crown, fulfill your mother's wishes, and become the new king of Kremnos. I once vowed to your mother that I would give my life to protect your reign. Once you become king, I will be your iron wings. If you wish to unite Amphorius, I will always be the one who charges ahead of you into battle. Master, do not forget the position that we are currently in. I have not forgotten. We serve as the mercenary blade of the blonde tyrant, dependent on her for our existence. However, these days shall come to an end. But that moment is not now. I understand how you feel, young master. You just now killed your own father. It is to be expected that your emotions are complicated and heavy. However, standing on the body of your fathers, bathing in their blood, and then putting on the crown is a Kremnoan tradition that has continued for millennia. Craterus, how can you be Gorgo's best friend and not know that she wanted to change that tradition? Master, let me ask you, did my mother really have such expectations of me? Did she wish for me to commit patricide, to steal the throne and continue this endless conquest? Huh? See? See? He doesn't know what to say. Do not mention this matter again. I understand the situation now. Let us return to the city. We have far too many fallen soldiers to honor. I understand, young master. Please just allow me one final word. There are many like myself in the Kremnoan detachment who already see you as the new king. You need only give the order, and the Kremnoan detachment would raise their spears and give their lives for you. Do not let your mother or your people down, mighty boss. Okay, I need to save this conversation because it also timeline-wise shows that they were already kinda working for Aglaya. I guess them saying that they depend on Aglaya for survival means that they got themselves a place in the Holy City. It's very clear that Craterus is trying to impose his own ideas on Mighty. Ideas that he very well knows that Gorgo didn't share. So I guess by this point Mighty already knew Final. Because they... in this recurrence, Final and Mighty battled for 10 days and 10 nights, I guess, for Kremnos to have a place in Osaka. Glimpse of fragments of recollection and story ruins Kremnos. Oh. What is more gay? Being gay? Or fighting for 10 days and 10 nights without rest? Tell me. Oh. Sorry, Hiromi. I didn't see you because I was checking the maps. Thank you for the follow. And hello, Julian. I also did notice you because I was also checking the map on my other screen.
So this was my childhood dream, huh?
Hello, I eating mem for dinner. Wait, that is not Paimon. Yeah, mem is not eatable. Paimon is not eatable either. No. We have
I will
to add
walk
the
to the
town.
end with all your wills. No matter the cost.
You can't leave this man for a second. He just can't be normal. The fight was so thrilling I had to watch it back to back for 3 days straight, so I ended up falling asleep. Wait, what? It was so great that you fell asleep? Or were you so tired after watching it back to back that you fell asleep? It was such a rousing contest that I watched it until it got dark outside. Purification. Oh, I didn't pick this up yet. Interesting. Where is it? Dyed red slates. Where are they? Here. A fragment narrative discovered on the outskirts of Castrum Kremnos. It tells of how a heroic Kremnos warrior met their end in battle. One. My tribesmen say that a Kremnos warrior has no business keeping a diary. They say it is a cowardly act, like something an Okeman would do. What they do not know is that I do not do this out of fear of death. My only fear would be to attain glory and have no one to spread word of it. Ah, forget it. What is meant to be shall always pass. Let me just write my story. 22. The minds of the Strife Titankin are growing ever more clouded. They have begun to point their blades at the tribesmen of Kremnos. What reason could there be to turn down a fight? These Titankin are made of tough stuff. It takes two people striking together to cut through them, where they need only a single blow to strike us down. How I long for the sanguine brew. 35. A man in my troops is beginning to worry that crossing blades with the Titankin will anger Nikador. Would we anger Nikador? Hilarious! When we all started laughing, they demanded an explanation. First, they would have to be calm first in order for us to anger them. Second, what could possibly anger them about us joining the Strife Titans in strife? Third, is there any difference between when Nikador is enraged and when they are not? Having understood, he laughed. It really was a great joke. 47. I dreamed of the late king. He has been gone several years now. Though the crown prince's methods may be elegant, we cannot approve of them. The king points and the warrior follows. That has always been our wish. 47. We fought a great battle and lost a number of men. I cast out my spear, but I couldn't save them. Wait for me at the Temple of Heroes, my friends. 55. I thought of a joke and rushed to write it down while I still remembered it. The mad god threw a feast and said that only great warriors were allowed to attend. Guess who wasn't invited? The Okemans. I've got no one to tell it to, but whatever. 78. My blade has broken, but I am not concerned. Every item in Kremnos can be turned into a weapon of war. 83. I've suffered a few light wounds, but they are nothing serious. As long as I can still battle, I'm fine. It's just a little annoying writing a diary with one arm. Is there anyone around to help me hold the slate? No? Am I the only one left? 85. There is another warrior here, the youngest. Lost a leg, uses a bow. He's a great guy. Much easier to write with him to lean on. 93. I don't think that young warrior can see that mist like black shadow. Thanatos? As our faith has already descended into madness, maybe letting them take us away might not be a bad way to go. "102. Titankin. So many Titankin. They never get sick of battle, just like me. The warrior has gone to meet Nikador, or maybe it was Thanatos, who cares? Say hello to our comrades for me. I have gotten used to not hearing I've gotten used to not leaning on anything to write anymore. 10 something, 100 something you mean. Another Titankin. That's my spear, that's its holding. Is it after revenge or something? It's looking at me. I'm looking at it. Everything is red. I can see clearly. I've started craving honey brew again lately. I've had too much pure stuff lately, so I need a change in flavor. It's panicking in fear? Even if I only have one arm, I'm still writing my nonsense on this slate. How ironic. Run away, Titankin of the Mad God. You're not fit to be a Kremnoan. Strive on. So this is after Mighty left.
By the end, I think this guy was losing his mind.
Okay, there's another Janus steed here. The lifeless wooden horse looks completely inanimate. To your surprise, you notice a few lines of writing on its outer body. I am a divine foe of Janusopolis. As the Black Tide approached, I was ordered to go to Castrum Kremnos for aid and to find allies for my tribe to fight back against the impending disaster. However, the disastrous essence affected my senses and I became lost in teleportation. Yeah, you were lost in time, weren't you? When I regained my senses, I found myself in a deserted Castrum Kremnos. It lay in ruins and there was no life to be found. Only mindless Titankin wandered its grounds. The Mad King has fallen. No one will come to save my city now. I am certain my tribe has long since been annihilated. What happened to its people? The High Priest? The other divine foes? I failed. Okay, so now the only thing left is the third floor. We didn't yet go through. But there's not much there, to be honest. That Titankin really doesn't care about anything. here's the first floor. I guess I picked up this before. Okay, let's see on the other side. Mm-hmm. Wow, they don't care.
Gottes Trümmerhaus. Light up the dawn.
Now, 2 in 1 go. There is a nymph here. Catch. This pile of ore in the mural is offset. It's not asymmetrical and it's going to trigger people's urges. The ruler would never let such unbalance go unpunished. Can I chisel a few pieces of this ore off? Okay, and we did the puzzle here. Okay, so this is the entirety of this map. I think we discovered everything in this map. Okay. I guess we finished the exploration. Don't hunt for Master TV. Yeah, I saw it. I need to start farming money. What should I do now? Here are some puzzles. Okay. I wonder what was the chronology of maps when we when they were released. Because I know that for sure the first map we visited was Night Janusopolis when we entered Amphoris, and then Daylight Okama, and then Night Castrum Kremnos. And then there was the day version of Janusopolis. I didn't really have that time to do exploration. And I was doing Castrum Kremnos just because I was curious. My let me just more playing ships. Universal Matrix Great Content. And it's in the dome section. I think that I explored the Abyss of Fate properly, but I am cursed if I read all the readables that are after. Destiny Weaver's Methods. Did I read them? Nope. Letter between several Destiny Weavers, some of them writing has become illegible either due to the passage of time or someone deliberately erasing them. First missive. My dearest sisters, lately the skies have borne witness to unusual celestial event. The veil of Oronix shows signs of being rent asunder, revealing rifts akin to glowing embers flickering amidst the eternal night. As I engage in astrological observations, an unprecedented terror ran down my spine. The paths of stars had been thrown into disarray, wandering across the sky no longer bound by the principles of Talantine. Even more disturbing, the prophecy from the vortex of Genesis has grown increasingly obscure. Last night, as I tried to untangle the thread of destiny, they seemed to be caught in some unseen snare, rendering them a chaotic mess regardless of my efforts. Have you faced a similar sign? Stay vigilant at every turn. Why does it sound suddenly as if it's the oblivion that ever did? Reading some of those after certain events kinda puts stuff into perspective. Second missive. The first one was written by Dekalea. And now the person is responding to Dekalea. Dear Dekalea, your concerns are not unfounded. The Okemon Fate Compass has too gone highwire, its pointers spinning wildly as though manipulated by an unseen hand. Even worse, the Thief Star is appearing with increasing frequency, According to ancient prophecies, this signals that Zegre's schemes are currently taking effect. But I have a feeling that there's more to it than meets the eye. The paths of the Thief Star hide a chaotic pattern we have never seen before. The core flame of Janus is also acting up. As night falls, the gate of infinity resonates with an eerie sound, as if another world is knocking at our door. May the tripartite prophecy last. It really does sound like the oblivion. Third missive. Dear Sage Helena, I know that you have been delving into the prophecies left by the former Holy Maiden. Please forgive my abruptness, but the circumstances demand our immediate attention. Recent signs have all pointed to a chilling conclusion. The threads of destiny are being corroded by an unseen force. The phenomena described by Unknown closely mirrors the accounts found in the ancient tome Revelations of Eternal Night. Are those warnings once dismissed as mere allegories now unfolding into reality? I eagerly await your latest insight on the prophecies involving Unknown, particularly the section about the Unknown Titan. This is incredibly suspicious. And I only can see it now because we already played 3 points. Fourth missive. Dear colleagues, your findings have solidified my deepest fear. Let's cut to the chase. The unknown era suggested in the prophecies of something could be a world apart from what we envision. While poring over the ancient prophecy texts, I stumbled upon a startling discovery. Certain phrases had been deliberately altered. For example, the original text, re something to the era Chrysia, has been changed to returning to the era Chrysia. This minute difference disquiets me. But what truly chills me to the bone is the question who or what group is secretly meddling with these texts. What unsettles me even more is that I was organizing the archive of prophecy. I discovered that the records about something are slowly vanishing. It's not due to human intervention. Rather, the ink seems to be fading away on its own, as though time itself is erasing that part of history. I have a hunch that the 3 Titans of Fate have already glimpsed into this unfolding. That's probably why the prophecies of Oronits have become increasingly obscure. The scales of Talantan have lost their balance, and the gates of Janus now quiver. Yeah, that sounds exactly like what Evernight was trying to do. 11. Missive 5. Dear Sisters, the gravity of our circumstances now demands decisive action. In my meditation, I had a chilling vision. The world being engulfed by a dark tide is not the Thanatos river of souls we are dealing with, but something far older and more wicked. I propose the following. Secretly reinforce the seals of the Temple of the Three Fates. Make 3 copies of all prophecy documents and distribute them for safekeeping. Find and protect those special children. Brace ourselves for the worst-case scenario. Remember, if the world is indeed marching towards its doom, our mission is to safeguard the fires of hope. Even if the threads of destiny have been corrupted, we must do our utmost to protect the last unattained golden thread. May the 3 Titans of Fate bless and warriors until we meet again soon in the Kalea. Appendix, Prophecy Shard. Fragmented records found in a missive. When the veil of eternal night is rent asunder, when the scales of justice lose their balance, when the gate of infinity is eroded by the black tide, something shall make their appearance in the world. Do not trust the curriculum you behold, nor believe the prophecies that you have been told, for fate has been altered, and the truth has long been legible text. Remember, the end of the world we fear may herald the dawn of a new start, but the cost is fate. That is incredibly tough. Another readable The World in Oronic's Eye. Did I read it? No. Remnants of an anthology, it records how the ancient Oronic's priests regarded the Titan's divine powers. The following content is said to be an excerpt of a speech given by Robita, a priest of Oronix, as they passed by Okema. The specific year of this speech is unknown, and it may have been embellished or interpreted by later generations of priests. The theological interpretations of Robita's school of thought received mixed receptions from later generations, and readers are reminded to approach their comments with a critical mind, editors note. Preceding text has been lost. People often say that if Oronix is just willing to offer their assistance, we priests of Oronix are able to see any moment in time as we please. Many of my own seniors and new students even hold this opinion. However, this is unfortunately an incorrect view born of people's misunderstandings of the Titan. Although the Titans are indeed supreme beings, they are not omnipotent. The miracle of Oronix is not to be able to directly see the past or future, but it is to be able to extrapolate them. Do not underestimate the importance of this distinction. In my opinion, if Oronix was truly willing to help us predict the weather each day, or should I say the tempers of Aquila, then there is a very real possibility that they could be mistaken. I know that people say that the prophecy of Janus can create endless paths and choices for humanity. Then does it not follow that this would also be the same for Oronix? This statement is actually half correct. Though the divinities of Oronix and Janus bear some similarities, neither of them has any relation to directly interacting with the path. What Oronix and Janus show their priests and allow them to interact with is not in fact the reality itself. It is something that bears a great resemblance to reality. Perhaps this point is easier to explain in relation to Janus, since we are able to select a specific history of something. That also means history cannot be real and fixed in the Titan's eyes. It becomes a reason for something to appear or disappear from existence. This is clearly different to the idea of history is the only true past that we have come to understand. The priests of Janus do not actually change the past, but they select a background or a state in which something exists. In other words, what the Titans help us to change is reality, not what has already happened in the past. Everything we see is no more than the process of rationalizing a changed reality. It seems to us like reversing the flow of time, but that is logically untrue. So, wait, they are trying to make a point that when they are using Oronix and Janus to predict the stuff, or to access past or something, they're accessing a specific outcome of millions of possibilities for the set place, object, or whatever. Not an actual truth, but one of the possible truths. If you can understand this, then it is much easier to understand the revelations or dreams of Oronix. The reason that they refuse to tell us what the weather will be like the next day, so they could easily ask Aquila and find out, and the reason that they refuse to predict the lifespan and cause of death for the majority of the population is precisely because their divine powers are limited by being isomorphic with that of Janus. There is no way for them to predict exceedingly uncertain matters. In other words, what Oronix chooses to show us are prophecies that they are certain must have happened, or absolutely will occur. Tense has absolutely no meaning to Oronix. This makes the situation extremely easy to understand. What prophet would be willing to pronounce a prophecy that they themselves have no faith in? So, if you have faith in my professionalism as a priest of Oronix, I hope that you will realize one thing. Priests of Oronix have already guided their divine power to the maximum potential. This maximum potential, if I were to describe it in blasphemous terms, is equivalent to placing Oronix under house arrest. We give them no other work at all, we simply allow them to focus on searching for knowledge regarding the past and future. These are all the results that can be gained. If Oronix is not willing, in my opinion, it means that they have no confidence, then they will not, in actuality they are unable to, share any revelations regarding information in the past, present or future. What you must all understand is that even the enormous power of the Titans has its limit. Following text has been lost. This sounds a bit like what Lygus keeps blabbering about in regard to news. Just, it's about Oronix, that they confine Oronix and don't allow it to see the proper information. They are limiting the possibilities of Oronix by placing it on house arrest, like in quotation. Yeah. Isn't this very similar to how Noose and Fully showed there are like a few fixed points in timeline of the universe? This is a very similar concept. Poems of Lepos too. The Sacred Wasteland, the deserted capital of three titans, now overrun by the Black Tide and its evil creatures. The shattered tiles once witnessed of God's miracles, now shrouded in the haze of an eternal night. I hear that this used to be the holy land of the faithful and a refuge for the lost. But I see that the palaces are now homes for snakes and rats, playgrounds for worms and bugs. As the gods fell silent, the priests abandoned them, and all mortals lost their home. All were displaced as the holy maiden rebelled and fled, becoming with the passages scattered fleeting starlight. Behind the gate, bitter winds whisper with divine decrees. Before the balanced scales, wild weeds thrive unchallenged. The burden of the abyss are too heavy to endure. The prophetic words are too promising to fulfill. Looking around, a heavy melancholy swells. Humans without God are like a boat adrift without its oars. Where can the body find shelter now that the era Christia has passed? What can comfort the soul when the world is filled with Okay, and other readables on this are Yamsapoi's Ritual Manual. Did I read that one? No. A tome that has been passed down for generations in Janusapoi that contains the ritual process and past experiences. Prologue. This manual is the guidance of the tripartite prophecy. May Janus bestow upon us paths, may Talantin bestow upon us fairness, and may Oronyx bestow upon us revelations. Chapter 1. Ritual Hours. Morning Ritual Entry Hour. When opening the door of the temple, one must pray to Janus first. Light the 3 ever-bright lamps to symbolize the tripartite of destiny. Sweep the floors of the temple and change the offerings. Dawn Ritual Lucid Hour. Recite the tripartite ode, record the questions asked by the visitors, prepare offering. Dusk Ritual Parting Hour. Light incense sticks to purify the altar, place the offerings of the day, recite the oracle's text. Chapter 2. Ritual Rules. Basic Rules. Okay, basic rules. Follow Talanton's words. The offerings must bear the same weight as the prayer. This is the law of the scale and must not be disobeyed. Common offerings and their meanings. Balance coin symbolizes the changes of destiny. Crystal symbolizes the clarity of the prophecy. Honey symbolizes the sweetness of languages. Cloud symbolizes the curtain of Orna. Mirror symbolizes the 2 faces of Yan. Scale symbolizes the fairness of talent. Note: offerings must be complete and of the purest quality. Taboos. 1. One must not offer items of misfortune. 2. One must not offer items of others. 3. One must not offer items during the entry hour. Chapter 3. Prayer. Morning Ritual. Master of the paths shall show us the way, the sovereign of fairness shall keep the balance, and the spirit of the night shall grant us wisdom. I knock on the door to ask for an audience with the divine. I make offerings to ask about the future, and I bow down to ask for guidance. Inquiry Prayer. Life is but a leaf adrift with waves. Tripartite fate, to what end does it lead? Janus illuminates my path, Talanton steadies my course, and Oronyx shows me the truth. Gratitude Prayer. I thank the tripartite fate for heeding me and offering guidance. May the eternal shine never dim, and may the divine words forever endure. Chapter 4. Prophecy Rules. Preparation. The holy maiden must bathe and purify herself. She must wear a white ritual robe and a silver mask. She must hold the 2-faced staff of Yan. She must light the three-colored holy fire. Prophecy procedures. The acolyte will light the incense and guide the way. The holy maiden will ascend to the seat of destiny. The visitor will place their offerings. The holy maiden will read the revelations. The holy maiden will read the prophecy once destiny indicates the result. Prophetic record. All prophecies must be recorded on special sheepskin scroll. Prophecies must be recorded with ink made from silver powder. 3 witnesses must provide their signature. Prophecies will be kept in a secret chamber within the room of prophecy. Chapter 5. Special ceremonies. New Moon Ceremony. The new moon ritual must be held at the beginning of every month. At that time, all the gates of the tripartite temple shall be opened. 12 mirrors shall be placed to symbolize the wheel of destiny. The holy maiden shall lead everyone around the temple 3 times. The long ballad of fate shall be recited. Janus May's revelational ceremony, exclusively held for important questions. Set up an inquiry magic circle. The holy maiden casts a spell to open the gateway. Place a double-sided mirror into the magic circle. Decipher the reflection in the mirror. Record the revelation. Afterward, this manual was created and edited by the holy maidens of past generations. May these rules be followed to obtain the truth. Violators shall face the punishment of destiny. Okay. Record of inappropriate remarks by the holy. Did I read that one? Nope. An old collection of records that detailed conversations among the Holy Maiden Guards, some of which got them in serious trouble. To ensure the secret of the fake prophecy is not exposed to other city-states, governors must strictly monitor the Holy Maiden and those around her, taking precautions against any indiscreet remarks. Particular attention should be paid to her guards. Below are some examples of improper conduct. Case 1. The Holy Maiden ran off again, this time through the window. Don't worry, I found her at the corner of the hallway. She must have gotten lost. She has had some warm goat milk and is fast asleep now. I suppose that experience was just too much for a child, but honestly, the Holy Maiden getting lost? Shouldn't the prophecy guide her in the right direction? Who knows, maybe the Fate Titans don't bother with such trivialities, or perhaps I hear that the Fate Titans have been silent for ages, no new prophecies to end it, please. What? Then the prophecies the Holy Maiden has been making in public, they're all fake? Who knows, but if you ask me, ahem. Hey, are you okay? What's wrong? Idiot, the governors are watching us. Case 2. What did the Holy Maiden ask for this time? A hammer, red clay, a carving knife, and 2 thin iron rods. Duel the carving knife so she won't hurt herself. What did she make with the last batch of materials? Something hard to describe. A pointed top, 3 legs at the bottom, and a red clay coating. Could it be some kind of weapon? She made a rocket! She made a rocket! They are not wrong that it's a weapon. Oh! Lizzie, read it! I didn't notice you, I'm sorry. I was just so engrossed in reading. I didn't see you. How are you, Lizzie? If you are still here. Thank you for the raid. Oh, I noticed you 10 minutes after. Lol. No, calling it a toy makes more sense. If it were a weapon, the governors wouldn't sit idly by. No matter how old she gets, she's always a child in the eyes of the governors. Maybe she would rather be a craftsman than a holy maiden. Craftsman, huh? If the world weren't plagued by the black tide, her wish might come true, but in this chaos, who dares to dream? Case 3. When will the holy maiden announce the oracle? Are we supposed to protect her from Castrum Kremnos' reach? Alright, Senior, you probably don't know my name yet. If I were you, I would zip my lips. I've already gone through 2 partners because I couldn't keep my mouth shut. You wanna see the Holy Maiden? Let's see if you can make it through 3 months without being sent packing. Sorry, I might have sounded a bit too harsh. No, don't worry about it. Actually, I'm not from Janusapolis. I used to live in Ikatus, and it's been a long time since I've been home. So, how did you get here? A beautiful lady saved me. She called herself the Holy Maiden, so now she's more accurately the former Maiden. Thanks to her, I became a Holy Maiden guard. It's a long story, but let me fill you in on all the details. Okay, the last readable in the Abyss of Fate should be Illegible Ancient Stone Tablet. Do I have it? Did I read it? Nope, I didn't read it because why should I? I was collecting everything in the Abyss of Fate, but I wasn't reading anything. It looks like a stone tablet covered in text written in the ancient Kremnos language. Maybe you can find someone who understands that language to help you translate it. Is there a version with translation? Because apparently I didn't find anyone to read it for me. Oh, if the player has this readable and asks Mighty in the Eternal Holy City Okama to translate it, he will give the player Warren Stone Letter Tablet. Do I have it? Nope. And it's unobtainable now because Mighty is dead. But this readable is the letter from Gorgo to Mighty, but it's heavily edited and we already have the full version, though I hear there are like slight differences between those letters, which are suspicious. But why was the letter in the Abyss of Fate? Wait a second, maybe... I don't know if we can find it. Eternal Holy City, okay.
Peaceful days are like breezes carrying the scent of wheat fields.
Does it really work?
Okay. Nope, there's only fragment of recollection of Mighty.
Only in the heat of battle does this curse of immortality turn into a blessing.
The reason people spend time alone is to enjoy peace and quiet. You must understand such a simple logic, surely. I can still ask him! I need your help to translate the slate. Let me see. Say something. Where did you find this slate, Castrum Kremnos? What does that slate say? Just some stories of the past. Take a look for yourself. Come to think of it, did you not receive the benediction of Oronix? If you're interested, why not take a look around Castrum Kremnos for yourself? Maybe you'll be able to dig up some interesting stories from among the dust of memory. Though you have more questions you want to ask, Mighty turns away and remains silent on the topic. Aha! You still can get something.
Only in the heat of battle does this curse of immortality turn into a blessing.
There's no need to be so harsh, let's have a chat. Fine, what do you wish to say? What kind of titan is Nikador? As is known to all, Nikador is the god of war, the god of fear, and the god of glory. Of course there are those that see Nikador as foolish and violent. They call Nikador the Mad King. It does make sense. The flock of sheep, even a yawn from a wolf is enough to send them into hysteria. They are dead now, and there will be no more wars. Fear and glory, is that not a contradiction? To the Kremnoans, fear is the path to glory. The reason that Kremnoans vow to follow Nikador to their death is so that Nikador can forge limitless fear into endless glory. In the glorious era before the Strife Titan fell, only the Crown Prince who could hold their spear firm under the divine pressure and stand tall under the rain of blood was worthy to become the King of Kremnos. I can understand the Okaman's grudge against Nikador, however, I do hope that you will understand that Nikador has gifted more than just suffering and fear than Forius. So they do have the word for fear, and fear turns into glory? Before the Lands of Fury fell into madness, they served as the guardian of Forius, the power of strife, also the queller of strife. Okay. I want to hear about the origins of the Kremnon attachment. This is a long story, let me give you the abridged version. I'm not sure if you have heard this before, but I had a few issues with my hometown. I elected to leave Castrum Kremnos for various reasons and wander across some forests. The Kremnon detachment was a group of my fellow countrymen who were willing to follow me. That's untrue! This is why we say that Mighty doesn't make sense timeline-wise. You were thrown into the Sea of Souls, you didn't leave! Though they were exiles, their drive exceeded even that of the soldiers of Kremnos. Word of our might spread across Ladon, Idonia, and Aeonius. Later, we happened to ally ourselves with Okema and offered our services to the Flame Tree's journey, led by the Gold Weaver. During that time, this lone army of Kremnos achieved great military success. Along the expedition, we found back into their home city and defeated the previous king. That actually is corroborated by other fragments of recollection in Castrum Kremnos. What a chilling story of royal leadership. Do you folks miss home? I left my hometown at a young age. I carried the blood of Castrum Kremnos. I bear no affection for that kingdom. You didn't leave! You were thrown into the river! As for my kin, the Kremnons show how much they miss their home by fighting without restraint. When I see them on the battlefield, bloodstained and raising a cry of valorous death before glorious return, I knew that Okema could never be their true home. That is all I will say for now. If you are interested, you can go to those Verax Leos and ask about the achievements of the Kremnon detachment, but do not trust their every word. They love to piece together stories to steer the plot. Didn't you just lie to me? He is either lying or he is remembering wrong what happened to him. Like, he remembers being thrown into the River of Souls, but then suddenly he says, I left Castrum Kremnos at a young age. Is that an euphemism to be killed by my father? Or is it like him actually having two sets of memories that slot into each other and he doesn't notice that they are conflicting? Are you really going to return home alone and face the black tide? The fragment of memory seems to waver. Words once spoken are reappearing now due to emotion they contain. If all goes well, we may not meet again. Thank you for everything you have brought to Emporius. Train more, stay up late, less. Stay safe out there, a lone boy can get into a lot of trouble. What are we going to do without you? Haha, Trailblazer, are you rambling again? Now that I bear the divine within me, I can get the vague feeling that you have a great significance for the future of Emporius. With this departure, I fear that I will never again return. Can I entrust you to watch my back and to continue supporting the Flame Tree's journey in my absence? I found Mighty. Is Final in the city too? You can actually find those NPCs on Okema's map on Wiki. Final. Final is, for some reason, always there. Here. But he is not a fragment of recollection for some reason. Oh, and there is also something I didn't pick up. I really do need to go through this place and properly recover all those stuff. I really need to do proper exploration of every map.
Whether it's a guide, a mercenary, or a friend you need,
I can fulfill all roles. Every corner of Akama has something beautiful to see.
This is the old final. Anyway, I should probably finish here. Yeah, at least Abyss of Fate I know that I explored properly. The old one, I think. Because at the start of Amphoris I still had in me the exploration. But then it died. Anyway, thank you for dropping by. Now I will check with my... No. Yeah, sorry for not noticing that Nim rated. Because I have broken the sound in my OBS, I didn't hear the, the raid. Wait, it was not Nim. It was Lizzie. Sorry, I don't know why, but Lizzie and Nim look very similar to me, and I kinda confuse them in my brain sometimes. I don't know why. I do that to two of my other friends who, I don't know, my brain just assumes they're the same person. I keep conflating them all the time. Anyway, it's Friday, so we are going to finish here. I hope you have a wonderful Friday, and we'll see each other next week, hopefully. Bye, 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 bye.